I'm Linda Fugate, and I have a PhD in physics. So what am I doing here in an economics channel? Well, first, I do have a physics channel also. So if you're interested in things like how the universe works, I hope you'll check out that one too. Second, there's a lot more physicists interested in economics than what you've probably heard about. There's a recognized field called econophysics, where physicists use the mathematical methods that we've learned for things like statistical mechanics and apply them to economics problems. Here's a sample of some of the papers that you can find online. Most physicists working in the economics field actually work for finance companies. They do a job called quantitative analysis, and they're called quants. They do it mostly for the money. Intellectual curiosity is also a big motivator for all scientists. We like to explore strange new worlds, as the original Star Trek series mentioned. Now, physics is a very old science, because the laws of physics have been the same forever, as far as we can tell. People have been exploring the physical world for thousands of years. We have very well-established theory for everything that's experimentally accessible. Well, we still want to explore new stuff. To get data for new physics theory, we need very expensive equipment, such as space telescopes and particle accelerators. These things take years to build, and they still give us only a tiny sample of the vast domain of the very large and the very small structures of the universe. So where can we get new data to work with? Well, we're all swimming in economics data. And there's a joke that if all the economists in the world were laid end to end, they would never reach a conclusion. What this actually means is that they would not agree on their conclusions. Economics is a new science, and it's still developing rapidly. It's only been about the last 200 years that the economy as we know it today started getting off the ground. Early economic theoreticians had tons of data to work with, but now we have megatons. Our opportunities for buying and selling products today and for financing those sales are so far beyond what people in 1820 could have imagined. And even the economists working in, say, the 1950s, in the post-war era, they had a much simpler system to work with than what we have today. Most political policies have at least some relation to economics. And I believe all of us actually agree on the basics of a strong economy with good jobs, high productivity. All of us want the same things. But from listening to the average political discussion, you would never guess that we agree on anything. I think we should be able to have rational debates, as opposed to emotional arguments, about economic issues, because we're a developed country. Basically, we're rich. We're rich enough to have choices about what we want to do. For example, how important is cancer research? Or what about improved transportation so we don't have to spend so many hours stuck in traffic? Then there's price stability. With a little cooperation from Congress, the Federal Reserve could keep a tighter control on inflation, so we have better opportunities to make plans for our own financial futures as well as for business investment. How much do we care about these long-term goals as opposed to short-term issues? I've been reading both physics and economics books for the last 40 years because I think these are both fascinating topics, how the universe works and how our economy works. I think every high school student should have at least one course in economics. And to be honest, I think we could take out some of the Shakespeare and the Civil War history to make room for information about how to be an informed voter right here and now. Well, the schools are not doing the job I think they should of teaching us economics, but it's never too late to learn. Thanks to YouTube, I hope I can share with you how fascinating our economy really is. Thank you for watching.